The arrival. The vast emptiness of space shimmered with an otherworldly energy as reality itself seemed to bend and warp. In a flash of blinding light, a massive vessel materialized from the void, its sleek hull gleaming under the light of distant stars. The HSS Starweaver, Earth's first interstellar dreadnought, had arrived. On the bridge of the Starweaver, Captain Aria Zhang stood tall, her dark eyes fixed on the main view screen. The ship's AI, a hyper-advanced quantum intelligence known as ARIA, Advanced Responsive Intelligence Assistant, announced, "Captain, we've successfully emerged from the quantum fold. All systems nominal." Zhang nodded, a hint of a smile playing on her lips. "Excellent. Status report on our location. We are approximately 3.7 light-years from the edge of known galactic concordat space," Captain Aria responded. "No immediate threats detected, but I'm picking up multiple energy signatures consistent with patrol vessels. They appear to be on an intercept course." The bridge crew worked diligently at their stations, a mix of excitement and tension palpable in the air. Humanity had kept its rapid technological advancements secret for decades, and now they were about to announce their presence to the galactic community in the most dramatic way possible. Lieutenant Commander Zora Okoi, the ship's tactical officer, spoke up. "Captain, the approaching vessels match known configurations of concordat patrol ships. Their weapon systems are powered up, but not locked on." Zhang's smile widened. "Right on schedule. Let's give them a show they won't forget. Shields up, but weapons remain powered down. We're here to make an impression, not start a war." As the Starweaver glided gracefully through space, its very presence sent shockwaves through the galactic concordat. On the nearest concordat outpost, alarms blared, and confusion reigned. Grand Overseer Xylith, a towering crystalline being with fractal-like appendages, stared at the holographic display in disbelief. "Impossible." They resonated, their voice a symphony of harmonic tones. "The humans are centuries away from this level of technology. This must be some trick." Their second-in-command, a gaseous entity named Zafira, swirled anxiously. "Overseer, the energy readings are off the charts. Whatever that ship is, it's beyond anything in our database." Tylith's crystalline structure pulsed with a mix of fear and anger. "Contact the High Council immediately. We may have a first-class crisis on our hands." Back on the Starweaver, John watched as the concordat ships approached. They were impressive in their own right, sleek and obviously advanced, but they paled in comparison to the human dreadnought. "Open a channel to the lead concordat vessel," John ordered. "Channel open," Captain Aria responded. Zhang cleared her throat and spoke clearly, her voice carrying the weight of humanity's hopes and ambitions. "Attention concordat vessels, this is Captain Aria Zhang of the human starship Starweaver. We come in peace, seeking diplomatic relations with the galactic concordat." There was a long pause before a response came through, the alien voice tinged with a mix of awe and suspicion. "Human vessel, this is Commander Vrax of the Concordat Defense Force. Your presence here is unexpected and potentially in violation of multiple treaties. Please power down your engines and prepare to be boarded." Zhang chuckled softly. "I'm afraid that won't be possible, Commander. We're here to negotiate as equals, not as subjects. Perhaps we could arrange a meeting on neutral ground." The silence that followed was deafening. On the Concordat ships, panic was setting in. The humans, long considered a primitive species barely worth monitoring, had suddenly appeared with technology that rivaled or even surpassed their own. Commander Vrax's voice came through again, this time with a noticeable tremor. "Stand by, Starweaver. We need to consult with our superiors." As the Concordat ships held their position, clearly unsure of how to proceed, Zhang turned to her crew. "Well done, everyone. Phase 1 of Operation Stardust is complete. Now let's see how the galaxy reacts to humanity's grand entrance." Dr. Yuki Tanaka, the ship's chief scientist, approached Zhang with a tablet in hand. Captain, I've been analyzing the Conquest ships. Their technology is impressive, but there are clear vulnerabilities we could exploit if needed. Zhang nodded, her expression serious. Let's hope it doesn't come to that, Doctor. We're here to establish our place in the galactic community, not conquer it. But it's good to know we have the edge if things go south. As the hours ticked by, the tension in space continued to build. The Starweaver remained a silent, imposing presence while the Concordat scrambled to decide how to handle this unexpected development. In the depths of Concordat space, the High Council convened an emergency session. Representatives from dozens of species argued and debated, their voices rising in a cacophony of alien languages. High Counselor Xenixus, an ancient being of pure energy, finally called for order. Fellow counselors, we face an unprecedented situation. The humans, whom we have long dismissed, have arrived on our doorstep with technology that challenges our supremacy. We must decide, and decide quickly, how to respond. As the council debated, back on the Starweaver, Captain Zhang prepared for the next phase of humanity's plan. She turned to her executive officer, Commander Raj Patel. Raj, it's time to unveil our trump card. Prepare the quantum entanglement communicator. We're going to show them just how far ahead we really are. Patel's eyes widened. Captain, are you sure? That technology is our most closely guarded secret. Zhang nodded, her eyes gleaming with determination. Sometimes, to prevent a war, you have to show your strength. Besides, it's time the galaxy understood that humanity is not to be underestimated. As Patel hurried to carry out her orders, Zhang gazed out at the stars, her mind racing with the possibilities and dangers that lay ahead. The Starweaver had crossed the vast emptiness of space to reach this point, but in many ways, humanity's journey was just beginning. In the bowels of the ship, Dr. Elena Rodriguez, the lead engineer of the quantum fold drive, worked feverishly to stabilize the experimental engine. The journey had taken a toll on the revolutionary propulsion system, and she knew that their ability to return home or escape if things went badly depended on her team's efforts. Dr. Rodriguez, Araya's voice chimed in. I'm detecting fluctuations in the quantum field matrix. Recommend immediate stabilization. Elena wiped the sweat from her brow, her fingers flying over the holographic controls. I see it, Araya. Initiating emergency stabilization sequence. Divert power from non-essential systems. As she worked, Elena couldn't help but marvel at the technology beneath her hands. The quantum fold drive was more than just an engine. It was a key that had unlocked the universe for humanity. But with great power came great responsibility, and the weight of that responsibility pressed down on her like a physical force. Meanwhile, in the ship's diplomatic suite, Ambassador Liam Chen prepared for the possibility of face-to-face negotiations with the Concordat. He studied the latest intelligence reports on the various species that made up the Galactic Alliance, trying to anticipate their reactions and concerns. RIA. He called out, run another simulation on potential negotiation scenarios. Factor in the latest data on Concordat political structures. As the AI compiled the requested information, Liam reflected on the enormity of his task. He was about to become the first human to engage in interstellar diplomacy, and the fate of Earth could hinge on his words and actions. Back on the bridge, Captain Zhang received an urgent communication from Earth. The holographic figure of Admiral Hiroshi Tanaka, head of the United Earth Space Command, flickered to life before her. Captain Zhang. The Admiral's voice was tense. We've detected unusual activity in the Oort cloud. It appears something followed you through the quantum fold. Zhang's blood ran cold. Followed us. But that's impossible. The quantum fold leaves no trace. We thought so too, Tanaka interrupted, but our long-range sensors don't lie. Whatever it is, it's big, and it's heading towards Concordat space. You need to warn them. As the Admiral's image faded, Zhang turned to her crew, her mind racing. They had come to make peace, to establish humanity's place among the stars. But now, It seemed they might have inadvertently brought something else with them, something that could threaten not just their mission, but the entire galaxy. "Red alert," she commanded, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. "All hands to battle stations. It looks like our grand entrance just got a lot more complicated." As klaxons blared throughout the Starweaver, the massive ship's external lights dimmed, and its weapon systems hummed to life. In the space around them, the Concordat vessels reacted with alarm, their own weapons powering up in response. The stage was set for a confrontation that would shape the future of galactic relations. Humanity had arrived on the cosmic stage, but their debut performance was about to take an unexpected and dangerous turn. Captain Zhang took a deep breath, centering herself amidst the chaos. "Araya, open a channel to all Concordat vessels. It's time to show them what true cooperation looks like in the face of the unknown." As the communication channel crackled to life, Zhang prepared to address not just the alien ships before her, but potentially the entire galactic Concordat. The next few moments would determine whether humanity's first contact would end in war or usher in a new era of interstellar cooperation. The fate of two civilizations hung in the balance, with an unknown threat lurking in the shadows of space. The Starweaver's mission had only just begun, and already the crew faced a challenge that would test not just their technology, but their wisdom, courage, and humanity. Secrets unveiled. The tension aboard the HSS Starweaver was palpable as Captain Aria Zhang prepared to address the Concordat vessels. With an unknown threat potentially approaching from the depths of space, she knew that the next few moments could determine the fate of not just her mission, but potentially that of Earth and the entire galactic Concordat. "This is Captain Aria Zhang of the HSS Starweaver," she began, her voice steady and clear. "Concordat vessels, we have detected an anomaly approaching your space. We believe it may pose a significant threat to all of us. I propose an immediate cessation of hostilities and the formation of a joint task force to investigate and, if necessary, defend against this potential danger." There was a moment of stunned silence from the Concordat ships before Commander Vrax's voice crackled through the comm system. "Captain Zhang, these are bold claims. What evidence do you have of this alleged threat?" Zhang nodded to her communications officer, who transmitted a data packet to the Concordat vessels. "We're sending you our sensor readings now. Our long-range detection capabilities exceed anything currently known to the Concordat. This is just one of many technological advancements we're prepared to share in the spirit of cooperation." As the Concordat ships processed the information, Dr. Yuki Tanaka approached Zhang, his eyes wide with excitement and trepidation. "Captain, if we're going to work with the Concordat, they're going to want to know how we achieve these advancements. Are we prepared to reveal the full extent of our capabilities?" Zhang's expression was grim but determined. "We may not have a choice, Doctor. Humanity's isolation is over. It's time for the galaxy to know who we really are." On board the lead Concordat vessel, the Celestial Harmony, Commander Vrax stared at the data scrolling across his screens in disbelief. The sheer amount of information, and the implications it carried, were staggering. He turned to his science officer, a multi-limbed being named Exilethor. "Is this data accurate? Can their sensors really penetrate that far into deep space?" Exilethor's appendages waved in agitation. "If these readings are correct, Commander, the humans possess technology far beyond our current understanding. The implications are unsettling." Vrax's mandibles clicked in agitation. "Unsettling indeed. Contact High Command immediately. We need guidance on how to proceed." Back on the Starweaver, Ambassador Liam Chen was hurriedly preparing for what could be the most important diplomatic meeting in human history. He turned to Araya, the ship's eye, for assistance. "Araya, given the current situation, what's the optimal approach for our first formal meeting with the Concordat representatives?" The AI's holographic avatar shimmered as it processed the request. "Based on available data and psychological profiles of known Concordat species, I recommend a strategy of controlled revelation. We should demonstrate our technological superiority while emphasizing our willingness to collaborate. However, caution is advised when discussing the full extent of Earth's advancements to avoid triggering defensive responses. Chen nodded, making mental notes. And what about this new threat? How do we balance the need for cooperation with the risk of exposing our vulnerabilities? I suggest framing the threat as a common enemy, Araya replied. This approach has a 78% chance of fostering a cooperative response, based on historical data from both human and Concordat diplomatic encounters. As Chen continued his preparations, Dr. Elena Rodriguez was deep in the bowels of the Starweaver, working feverishly to unlock the full potential of the quantum fold drive. If they were going to face an unknown threat, they needed every advantage they could get. Araya, Elena called out, her hands flying over holographic controls. I need a real-time simulation of the quantum field interactions. We're going to push this drive beyond its intended limits. The AI complied, filling the engineering bay with a dazzling display of subatomic particles and quantum probabilities. Elena studied the patterns intently, her mind racing with possibilities. There, she muttered, pointing to a fluctuation in the field. If we can stabilize that resonance cascade, we might be able to create a localized fold. It could give us a significant tactical advantage. As Elena and her team worked to refine the quantum fold drive, Captain John received word that the Concordat was ready to begin formal talks. She turned to her executive officer, Commander Raj Patel. Raj, you have the bridge. I'll be joining Ambassador Chen for the initial meeting. Keep a close eye on that anomaly. If anything changes, I want to know immediately. Patel nodded, his expression serious. Understood, Captain. Good luck. Zhang made her way to the Starweaver's conference room, where a secure quantum entanglement communication system had been set up. As she entered, she saw Ambassador Chen already seated at the table, surrounded by holographic displays showing various Concordat representatives. The central figure, a being of swirling energy contained within a crystalline structure, spoke first. I am High Counselor Xenixes of the Galactic Concordat. Captain Zhang. Ambassador Chen, on behalf of the Concordat, I welcome you to our space, though I must express our deep concern over the manner of your arrival and the capabilities you've demonstrated. Zhang stepped forward, her posture respectful but confident. High Counselor, esteemed representatives of the Concordat, we appreciate your willingness to engage in dialogue. We understand that our arrival has caused some alarm, but we assure you that our intentions are peaceful. We come seeking cooperation and mutual understanding. A reptilian being with iridescent scales leaned forward, its forked tongue flicking out in agitation. Peaceful intentions. You arrive unannounced in a warship that outclasses our entire defense fleet. How do you expect us to react? Ambassador Chen raised a placating hand. We understand your concerns, and we're prepared to offer full transparency about our capabilities and intentions. But first, we must address the immediate threat that faces us all. As Chen began to outline the situation, alarms suddenly blared throughout the Starweaver. Commander Patel's voice came urgently through the comm system. Captain, the anomaly has accelerated. It's entering Concordat space now. The holographic images of the Concordat representatives flickered as they received the same information. High Counselor Xenixes' energy form pulsed with alarm. What is the meaning of this? Is this some sort of human deception? Zhang's voice was firm as she responded. I assure you, Counselor, this is no deception. We're as much in the dark about this entity as you are, but we have the technology to face it, and we're offering to stand with you against this unknown threat. There was a moment of tense silence as the Concordat representatives conferred among themselves. Finally, Xenixes spoke again. Very well, Captain Zhang. It seems we have little choice but to trust you. What do you propose? Zhang's eyes gleamed with determination. A joint operation. We'll share our advanced sensor data and defensive capabilities. In return, we ask for your cooperation and local knowledge of the space we're in. As the details of the joint operation were hammered out, Dr. Rodriguez burst into the conference room, her face flushed with excitement. "Captain, Ambassador, we've done it. We've managed to stabilize the quantum field resonance. We can now create localized folds in spacetime." The Concordat representatives reacted with a mix of awe and fear at this revelation. Zhang shot Rodriguez a warning look before turning back to the holographic display. "As you can see, we have much to offer in terms of technological exchange. But right now, we need to focus on the threat at hand." High Counselor Zinix's energy form swirled thoughtfully. "Indeed, Captain. It seems that humanity has been keeping many secrets. We look forward to learning more about your advancements after we deal with this crisis." As the meeting concluded and preparations for the joint operation began, Zhang couldn't help but feel a mix of pride and apprehension. Humanity had successfully made first contact and was on the brink of joining the galactic community. But with their secrets now coming to light and an unknown danger rapidly approaching, she knew that the real challenges were only just beginning. The Starweaver's crew sprang into action, coordinating with the Concordat vessels to form a defensive perimeter. As they worked, Jean gazed out at the stars, wondering what other secrets the universe held and how humanity's emergence onto the galactic stage would reshape the cosmic order. Little did they know, the approaching anomaly was about to change everything they thought they knew about the universe and their place in it. The true test of humanity's resolve and the strength of this newfound alliance was about to begin. The cosmic chessboard. As the combined fleet of human and Concordat ships moved into position to confront the approaching anomaly, a flurry of diplomatic activity erupted across the galaxy. The sudden appearance of an advanced human civilization had sent shockwaves through the political landscape of the galactic Concordat. On the planet Siloria, the crystalline homeworld of High Counselor Zinixis, an emergency session of the Concordat's ruling body was in full swing. Representatives from dozens of species argued vehemently, their voices creating a cacophony of alien languages that echoed through the vast chamber. Zinix's energy form pulsed with frustration as they called for order. "Esteemed colleagues, we must focus on the immediate threat. The humans have offered their advanced technology to aid us. We cannot afford to reject their help, regardless of our suspicions." A gelatinous being named Globux undulated indignantly. "And what guarantee do we have that this threat isn't a human fabrication? For all we know, this could be an elaborate ruse to force their way into the Concordat." Before Zinixis could respond, a holographic projection of Captain Zhang appeared in the center of the chamber. The human's sudden appearance caused a momentary hush to fall over the assembled aliens, honorable representatives of the Concordat. Zhang began, her voice calm but authoritative. "I understand your concerns, but I assure you, the threat we face is very real. Our sensors have detected a massive object emerging from what appears to be a tear in the fabric of spacetime. It's unlike anything we've ever encountered." She gestured, and a three-dimensional image of the anomaly appeared beside her. The assembled representatives gasped as they saw the swirling vortex of energy, with something massive and alien beginning to emerge from its depths. "We don't know what this entity is or where it comes from," John continued, "but its energy readings are off the charts. If it's hostile, it could pose an existential threat to all of us. We need to work together if we hope to survive whatever's coming." As murmurs of discussion broke out among the representatives, Ambassador Liam Chen stepped into view beside Captain Zhang. "Members of the Concordat, we understand that our arrival has disrupted the balance of power you've maintained for millennia. We're prepared to negotiate fair terms for humanity's integration into the galactic community. But first, we must face this crisis united." High Counselor Zinix's energy form brightened. "Captain Zhang, Ambassador Chen, your words are well spoken. But many here still have doubts. What assurances can you offer that humanity won't use this crisis to assert dominance over the Concordat?" Chen's expression was solemn as he replied, "We propose a gesture of good faith. We're prepared to share the schematics for our quantum communication technology with the Concordat. This will allow real-time, instantaneous communication across vast distances. It's a technology that could revolutionize how the galaxy interacts. The chamber erupted in excited chatter. Quantum communication was something many Concordat scientists had theorized but never achieved. If the humans were willing to share such advanced technology, it lent credibility to their claims of peaceful intentions. As the political debates raged on, back on the HSS Starweaver, Dr. Elena Rodriguez was making a startling discovery. She burst onto the bridge, her eyes wide with excitement and fear. Zhang's brow furrowed. Artificially created. You mean it's not a natural phenomenon? Rodriguez shook her head. No, and that's not all. Some of the energy patterns, they're similar to our quantum fold technology, but on a scale we can barely comprehend. Ambassador Chen's face paled. Are you saying that whatever's coming through that rift is using technology similar to ours? Could it be human? Before Rodriguez could respond, alarms blared throughout the ship. Lieutenant Commander Zara Okoy's voice cut through the noise. Captain, the anomaly is expanding rapidly. Something's coming through. On the main view screen, the swirling vortex of energy grew larger, its edges seeming to tear at the very fabric of space. And then, emerging from the chaos, came a ship. But it was like no ship they had ever seen before. It was massive, easily dwarfing both the Starweaver and the largest Concordat vessels. Its hull seemed to shift and change, as if it wasn't fully part of their reality. Strange, otherworldly energy patterns danced across its surface. My God, Zhang whispered. What is that thing? As if in response to her question, a transmission cut through all communication channels, broadcasting simultaneously to the Starweaver, the Concordat ships, and even the assembly on Siloria. A figure appeared on screen, humanoid but clearly not human. Its skin shimmered with a metallic sheen, and its eyes glowed with an inner light that spoke of technologies beyond their comprehension. Greetings, beings of this reality. The figure spoke, its voice resonating with an unsettling harmony. We are the Ascended, travelers from a universe beyond your own. We have come seeking new realms to explore. The word explore sent a chill down Zhang's spine. Something in the way the being said it suggested that their idea of exploration might be very different from peaceful scientific inquiry. I am Captain Aria Zhang of the human starship Starweaver, she responded, fighting to keep her voice steady. And on behalf of humanity and the galactic Concordat, I welcome you to our space. May I ask the purpose of your exploration? The being's lips curved into what might have been a smile, but the expression held no warmth. Purpose? My dear Captain, our purpose is evolution. Advancement. We travel between realities, gathering technologies, integrating civilizations. Those who join us ascend to a higher plane of existence. Those who resist, well, let's just say they contribute to our advancement in other ways. A cold dread settled in the pit of Zhang's stomach. This wasn't just first contact with an alien civilization. This was a threat unlike anything humanity or the Concordat had ever faced. Back on Siloria, the assembly had fallen into a shocked silence. High Counselor Xenixus's energy form pulsed rapidly, a sign of deep distress. Captain Zhang, they communicated privately. It seems our suspicions were misplaced. We face a common enemy, one that threatens not just our civilizations, but our very reality. Zhang nodded grimly. Indeed, Counselor. The question is, are we ready to stand together against this threat? Because I have a feeling that the future of our entire galaxy depends on what we do next. As the ascended ship loomed ominously before them, the combined fleet of human and Concordat vessels fell into formation around the Starweaver. Years of mistrust and political maneuvering were set aside in the face of this existential threat. Ambassador Chen turned to Captain Zhang, his expression resolute. Well, Captain, it looks like our mission of peaceful first contact just got a lot more complicated. Zhang's eyes narrowed as she studied the alien vessel on the view screen. That it has, Ambassador. But complicated or not, We have a duty to protect our people, all our people, human and Concordat alike. She turned to her crew, her voice ringing with determination. All hands, battle stations. Let's show these Ascended that humanity and the Concordat aren't going to roll over and submit to their idea of evolution. As klaxons blared and crew members rushed to their posts, Jean couldn't help but feel a mix of fear and exhilaration. This was far beyond anything they had trained for, but it was also the kind of challenge that humanity had always risen to meet. The cosmic chessboard had been upended, and now, the very fate of their reality hung in the balance. The next move would determine not just the future of human-Concordat relations, but the destiny of their entire universe. Battle in the void. The vastness of space seemed to hold its breath as the combined fleet of human and Concordat ships faced off against the massive Ascended vessel. On the bridge of the HSS Starweaver, Captain Arya Jung's voice cut through the tense silence. All ships, this is Captain Jung. Hold your positions and do not fire unless fired upon. We need to buy time for our scientists to analyze their technology. In the Starweaver's engine room, Dr. Elena Rodriguez worked feverishly, her fingers flying over holographic displays as she attempted to decipher the energy readings from the Ascended ship. "This is incredible," she muttered to herself. "Their quantum field manipulation is light years beyond ours. It's as if they're rewriting the laws of physics on the fly." Suddenly, her eyes widened in realization. "Arya," she called out to the ship's eye. "I need a direct line to the captain. I think I've found something." On the bridge, Zhang received the communication. "Go ahead, Dr. Rodriguez. What have you found?" "Captain, the Ascended ship isn't just manipulating space-time. It's creating micro-universes and harvesting their energy. That's how they're able to generate such enormous power. But there's a flaw in their system. If we can disrupt their quantum field harmonics, we might be able to destabilize their entire power grid." Before John could respond, the Ascended ship suddenly came to life. Beams of energy, unlike anything they had ever seen, lanced out towards the Concordat fleet. Several ships erupted in silent explosions, their hulls simply ceasing to exist as the strange energy touched them. "Evasive maneuvers," Zhang shouted. "All ships, scatter and return fire." The space around them erupted into chaos as energy beams and quantum torpedoes crisscrossed the void. The Starweaver danced through the maelstrom, its advanced shielding barely holding against the onslaught. In the midst of the battle, Ambassador Liam Chen worked tirelessly to coordinate the Concordat ships, his diplomatic skills being put to the ultimate test as he struggled to keep the alien allies working together in the face of overwhelming odds. "Concordat vessels," he broadcast, "focus your fire on the coordinates we're sending you. Our sensors have detected a potential weakness in their shielding." As the battle raged on, Dr. Rodriguez's voice came through again. "Captain, I've figured out how to disrupt their quantum field, but we'll need to get close, dangerously close, to their ship." Zhang's jaw set in determination. "Understood, Doctor." "Helm, set a course for the Ascended ship. All power to engines and shields." The Starweaver surged forward, weaving through the crossfire as it made a beeline for the massive alien vessel. Concordat ships, recognizing the human ship's intent, moved to provide covering fire. As they approached, the Ascended ship seemed to ripple, sections of its hull phasing in and out of reality. A booming voice filled their communication system. "Foolish beings," the Ascended leader intoned. "Your resistance is futile. Why struggle against the inevitable? Join us and experience existence beyond your wildest imagination." Zhang's response was defiant. "We choose our own path, thank you very much. Humanity and the Concordat will not submit to your twisted version of ascension." With that, she gave the order. "Now, Dr. Rodriguez." A pulse of energy erupted from the Starweaver, perfectly calibrated to disrupt the Ascended ship's quantum field. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, with a silent roar, the massive vessel began to convulse, sections of it blinking in and out of existence. "It's working," Rodriguez shouted triumphantly. "Their power grid is collapsing." But their victory was short-lived. As the ascended ship destabilized, it began to create a massive quantum singularity, a tear in the very fabric of space-time. "All ships, fall back," Zhang ordered. "That rift could swallow us all." As the fleet retreated, the singularity grew, threatening to engulf not just the ships, but entire star systems. The ascended vessel, now little more than a twisted wreck, was drawn inexorably towards the rift. In a desperate gambit, Zhang turned to her crew. "We can use our quantum fold drive to collapse that rift, but we'll have to get close, too close to guarantee our own escape." The bridge fell silent as the implications sank in. It was Commander Raj Patel who spoke up first. "We're with you, Captain, whatever it takes." With grim determination, Zhang gave the order. The Starweaver surged forward, directly towards the growing rift. As they approached, Dr. Rodriguez initiated the quantum fold sequence, pushing the drive beyond its intended limits. Space itself seemed to bend and warp around them as the Starweaver's systems strained against the immense gravitational forces. Warning klaxons blared throughout the ship as structural integrity began to fail. In a blinding flash of light, the quantum rift collapsed in on itself, taking the remains of the ascended ship with it. The Starweaver, caught in the backlash, spun out of control, its systems failing across the board. As emergency power flickered on, Zhang looked around at her battered but unbeaten crew. Against all odds, they had survived. More than that, they had saved not just Earth and the Conquest, but quite possibly the entire galaxy. As the Conquest ships moved in to assist the damaged Starweaver, Zhang allowed herself a small smile. The battle was over, but she knew that the real work, forging a lasting peace and alliance between humanity and the galactic Conquest, was just beginning. A new era dawns. In the months following the battle against the Ascended, the political landscape of the galaxy underwent a seismic shift. The Great Hall of the Galactic Conquest on Siloria was abuzz with activity as representatives from every member species, along with a delegation from Earth, gathered to sign a historic treaty. Captain Area Zhang, now Admiral Zhang, stood proudly alongside Ambassador Liam Chen as High Counselor Xenixus addressed the assembly. "Today marks a new chapter in the history of our galaxy." Xenixus's energy form pulsed with enthusiasm. "The courage and ingenuity demonstrated by our human allies in the face of an unprecedented threat has shown us that we are stronger together than we ever could be apart." Ambassador Chen stepped forward, his voice carrying across the vast chamber. "On behalf of Earth and all of humanity, we are honored to join the Galactic Conquest as full members. We bring with us not just our technology, but our spirit of exploration, our creativity, and our unwavering commitment to freedom and self-determination." As Chen spoke, Dr. Elena Rodriguez, newly appointed as Earth's Minister of Interstellar Scientific Cooperation, activated a holographic display. It showed the schematics for a new type of ship, a collaborative effort between human and Conquest scientists. "This," Rodriguez explained, "is the future of our joint space exploration efforts. A vessel capable of not just traversing our galaxy, but potentially exploring other dimensions safely. Together, we'll unlock the mysteries of the multiverse." The assembled representatives murmured in excitement. The possibilities seemed endless. But not all was celebration and optimism. In a quiet corner of the hall, Admiral Zhang conferred with Xenixus and other high-ranking Conquest officials. "We need to be prepared," Zhang insisted. "The Ascended may have been defeated, but they were just one of potentially infinite realities out there. We need to bolster our defenses, create an early warning system for dimensional incursions." Xenixus nodded solemnly. "Agreed. We'll establish a joint task force immediately. Your experience with the quantum fold technology will be invaluable." As the political discussions continued, life in the galaxy began to change rapidly. The integration of human and Conquest technologies led to advancements in medicine, energy production, and space travel that would have been unimaginable just a year earlier. On Earth, the revelation of alien life and humanity's new role in the galactic community led to a cultural renaissance. Art, music, and literature flourished as humans grappled with their place in a much larger and more diverse universe. Yet, challenges remained. Some factions within both human and Conquest societies viewed the rapid changes with suspicion and fear. Maintaining unity in the face of such monumental shifts would require constant effort and diplomacy. Months turned into years, and the scars left by the battle against the Ascended began to heal. The wreckage of their ship, now contained within a high-security research facility, continued to yield new insights into transdimensional physics and the nature of reality itself. 5 years to the day after the Starweaver's first appearance in Conquest space, a ceremony was held to christen a new vessel. The CSS Harmony, the first ship jointly designed and crewed by humans and multiple Conquest species, prepared for its maiden voyage. Admiral John, grayer now but still standing tall, addressed the assembled crew. "You represent the best of what our united civilizations can achieve. Your mission is to explore, to learn, and to forge new connections across the stars. But never forget the lesson we learned in our battle against the Ascended, that there are wonders and dangers out there beyond our imagination." As the Harmony departed, its quantum fold drive humming with power, John couldn't help but feel a sense of pride and excitement. Humanity had faced its greatest challenge and emerged stronger, wiser, and part of something greater than they had ever dreamed. Yet, as she watched the ship disappear into the quantum fold, Jean felt a familiar tingle of anticipation. The galaxy was vast, and the multiverse vaster still. New adventures, new challenges, and new echoes from the void were waiting to be discovered. The journey, she knew, was far from over. It was, in many ways, only just beginning.